I see a lot of messages from trauma survivors who say, I just avoid all people. I've mastered avoidance. I isolate myself in order to stay safe. This is done out of fear because you don't know how to keep yourself safe in a relationship. But most of all, you're putting yourself in danger of the same cycle of abuse happening to you over and over again. Remember that you're dealing with predators. And what are predators looking for? Well, a predator is more attracted to the isolated prey than they are the ones that are with the pack. When you continue to stay open to connection, socialize, and have an abundance of people in your life, especially those of the opposite gender, then the predators, the narcissists, don't have as easy of a time gaslighting you and isolating you because you have people and connections around you. They have a harder time love bombing you because everything they do for you, all their breadcrumbing and tricks, doesn't feel so amazing because you're not in desperation that comes from the deprivation that comes from the isolation. In other words, if you keep trying to be alone all the time, you're just going to make yourself a better prey and a bigger target to predators and abusive people. So I do not advise that you isolate yourself and avoid relationships as a way of staying safe and getting away from bad people. That's the way to make yourself like a beacon to bad people. It's much better to get out into groups, into socializing and having relationships with lots of different people and navigating that correctly using the skills of assertiveness and having boundaries. And yes, you will run into toxic and dangerous people, but you need to eliminate them properly by utilizing your own boundaries and your own voice and your own self-advocacy, not by just running and hiding. That doesn't work. Relationships are an exchange of goods and services. We need to exchange goods and services in order to live a quality existence. So you need someone that you can buy groceries from. You need someone that you can do activities with, to play sports with, whatever it is. Having the benefit of other people in life on some level is just there as a necessity to life. So when it comes down to other needs like food, you can eat food and get poisoned, right? In fact, you probably have had food poisoning before. But you don't get food poisoning and then decide, rightfully, I'm going to just avoid all food, because it doesn't work. You will eventually have to eat again. So even if you naturally come to that feeling, and many of us do, we say, I never want to eat again because we got poisoned. But you have to get past that because you need food. Likewise, yes, there are poisonous, toxic people. But just because you've encountered one or two or five doesn't mean you avoid all relationships. You need to continue to stay open for connections and have the skills of being able to set boundaries and be in relationships. And then you keep yourself safe. And then you also make sure you're getting your needs met and you're in abundance and not in scarcity and desperation, lack, that makes you susceptible to the same pattern of abuse over and over again.